We're getting right to the action here in the 7th round of Cloud9 versus Team Liquid. Skadoodle's going to be opening up with an up shot over here onto Elise. Shroud holds it from within the mid chokehold, taking down Nitro as well. And now for the rest of the players here on Liquid, unfortunately not with a whole lot of leeway to try to push themselves into the A site. They're forced right back here, but they're going to make an attempt for it anyway. Adren goes through. Unfortunately, a pop flash of the smoke over there inside of the choke point as well. Just going to hold it back even more. And that gives a signal to Cloud9. So now Skadoodle, he's going to be able to rotate over. Plenty of time left for Team Liquid to play with, however. So they're going to be able to camp back a little bit more. But as the smoke comes out, they're going to try to make their way over here around the arch side. Skadoodle is ready for this one, but unfortunately that molly goes completely by the wayside. And now they're going to push in. They're going to attempt to transition, but Skadoodle catches it, but he misses the shot. Now, however, his teammates can rotate into position and try to choke him, but still he's going to be trapped, and this gives Liquid a little bit of room, but at the same time, the players on the B site, they are rotated in position, so for Liquid, it doesn't look like this is going to go very far. Shroud and Skadoodle pick up the final 2 kills, and then Hiko will be the last player with life, also executed by Skadoodle to give Cloud9 their 2nd point onto the board.
Nice. We're in.
Went right into that, man.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was happening. I just got word, and I realized you're already casting it, but cool. So I just got in, I didn't get to see that round. But happy to see this match played out.
Yeah, we were a little bit of a trouble getting ourselves into the game there with the update coming out. I think it broke GoTVs for certain people, but I think we managed to fix it ourselves for the time being, so we're going to rock and roll, get ourselves right back into it. And now we'll see how things roll out here in the 8th round with Liquid once again trying to push themselves forward. And unfortunately for me, my GoTV is lagging again.
Mine is as well, but all good. Very aggressive down mid is nothing. Elise is going to pick off Freak, and that should be the indication that there's more than likely at least one more player who's been aggressive. Sean's going to be at the window. He grabs 2 before he gets swarmed by Hiko from behind, and now it's been a swap. The A-bomb side is open. The defense has got to come up mid, much like the Terrorists would have to do normally. So this round is completely backwards at the moment, but nothing is going to sniff this out. He sees him get into a pit, and he hears the bomb being planted.
And now, with the bomb going down here for the players on Cloud9, they are going to look like an attempt to make a retake of this one. Nothing already sneaking in, but unfortunately for Skadoodle, he's on a pretty big rotate. And also keep in mind, Fugly there through middle as well, but I think nothing knows that there's still a player on this side, so he's got to be cautious of it. But nonetheless, he's going to hold back the retake for the time being. And oh no, he doesn't even catch it. Fugly just comes right through middle there, takes down nothing. And now Skadoodle's got to pull off here, look for that kill, but he gets safely inside, and oh, he looks away as well, just as Fugly comes back out. So they're going to keep all 3 players alive, and there's just no time left to try and make this retake at this point. Cloud9, they've got to run away and end over a 6 point now to Team Liquid.
Yeah, that exchange that turned it into a 3-on-3 was just so awkward. Cloud9 couldn't really get a good feel on where to rotate. They also they didn't realize Fugly, obviously nothing didn't realize Fugly was still lurking up around mid. So Liquid handles that aggression perfectly, and they find themselves a free and open bomb site. And they get in, they're going to be up 6-2 now on the Terrorist side of Inferno.
And now, taking a look at the buys that we'll have coming out here. Thankfully, the 3 saves from Cloud9 keep themselves in a... or 2 saves, apologies. 2 saves from Cloud9 keep themselves in a pretty good position here to go for, again, another buy-up for themselves. Still managing the economy very well, but Liquid getting themselves right back onto the bandwagon as far as round score is concerned, and them leading by a pretty big margin is not going to help with some blind aggression. They're going to try to work its way up Banana. Freakazoid getting some nades out there, too, but they're going to go right into this. Adren catches Skadoodle. Freakazoid picks up 1, but Adren's there again to respond to it. He's going to be able to find the frag, and now more rotates coming in. Shroud's going to try to get himself in position, but all it's coming in so quickly, unfortunately, Adren all alone there, so that's going to be a free kill for him to pick up. And now the rest of the team rolls in, but they've been injured by a pretty big margin. Nitro's even down at 28 HP at this point, but thankfully Hiko comes in for the support. He's going to be able to pick up Shroud, but nothing as well, finding out Fugly, so it'll leave it into a 2-on-2 retake with the players from Cloud9 making their way back in now.
Yeah, 2-on-2 though. Very, very low is Nitro in the back. He's also smoked out. And that nade's just going to clear him out. Hiko hasn't had a chance to reposition. This is a spot that can be traded by Cloud9 as they come in. Hiko gets the first one. He sprays them both down. Huge play from Hiko. They light up for him just a little bit, and he takes the opportunity. A 1-on-2 win puts Liquid up 7-2.
And now with this win once again there, that's a pretty big shame too when you consider the fact that they get this touchdown nade, they have a pretty good idea as to where Hiko is, and they just walk right into his face and he cuts them both down anyway there. So Hiko escaping with a pretty big victory for the players here on Team Liquid, and again, that's just, to be honest, it's another round that Cloud9 should have picked up. They're really falling behind here on this CT side once again over on Inferno, and with Team Liquid already leading by such a huge margin here, this is a monster half regardless of the rest of the outcome here and anything else, and obviously we could expect they would pick up a couple more. Cloud9, their economy's in a pretty bad place at this point, so we could expect them to maybe squeak through with at least 1 to 2 more at the very least here, and that's already going to be a big half of them. So Cloud9, they're going to have an absolutely huge amount of work to do on the second half, and they absolutely just have to piece things together here. Otherwise, it's going to be way too hard to make a comeback from on their T side.
And you can tell they're feeling that pressure as well with this force by 2 pistols. Skadoodle does have an AWP, which might be the saving grace, but he misses that opening shot. Now they know exactly where he is with that at the A-bomb site on the wrap side, and they promptly just fall back a little bit, not willing to contest it quite yet, and this is a huge lean for Cloud9 over towards the B-bomb site, a big committal of manpower. Nothing's there, trying to cheat the rotate, playing in CT spawn. He's just now rotating back towards A, but Sean and Freak playing close up. And it looks like the bomb is slowly being rotated back.
And as they move it back up there, not making a decision just yet to push in through middle, and it's going to be Shroud along with Skadoodle. They'll have to resist that if the push does come in, but they will still commit things, at least for the time being, over here to Banana, with the time getting shorter. The two-man hold's going to be here, and they're going to tag team it too. Freakazoid and Sean Garris. Sean Garris comes out, but it's been flashed, and he gets that kill in Nitro anyway. Tries to combo the spray, but now they've been held back, and Freakazoid still hasn't fired a single shot, and another great nade comes in. Rangers a Liege, and that's going to be a finish off there from Freakazoid. Even falls back now. Sean Garris and nothing picking up two more. Dren at least picks up a response, but that's it now. It's all on Fugly. He's got no bomb control. There's only 15 seconds left. He would have to try to execute the whole team. There's no way in hell he's pulling that off, so he's got to make a run for it, and Shroud's going to shut him down as well, so Cloud9 escape with this round.
Yeah, nicely done from Cloud9. They might have been low on Arsenal, but they played it very patiently, and they had that smoke and that choke point over at the B bomb site. Very, very, beneficial timing for him. It stalls out that push, and Liquid's forced to execute right through it, but Sean, fortunately, gets a very good kill through the smoke as he's falling away, and that stalls things out. That allows Freakazoid to just grab one more, and it's pretty much all over from there. But another buy up out of Liquid. They're at 3 AK-47s, 2 Tech 9s. Their economy is depleted themselves, so Cloud9 with a huge advantage in this round, and Skadoodle's going to miss another one just down mid, spots the shoulder but can't connect.
Skadoodle's in a position here to watch out for a push up the staircase, but unscope's probably at the worst possible timing, so now Elige is going to be able to walk up to that for free, but does feel the pressure, so now he's going to wait, but again, misses a straight headshot onto Elige, so he's going to be able to roll through onto Boiler, almost pulls out, but look at all this damage the Molly's done, doesn't even matter though, his Nitro's going to run right through, shuts down Skadoodle. Shroud, however, still holding from within the pit there, he's going to be able to pick up two onto Adren and Hiko. They get their spells onto the site nonetheless, but now nothing rotating in. Fugly and Nitro are going to combo that into 2 kills, there's just no holding at all coming out from Cloud9. Liquid are being able to consistently trade it and comboing that with the additional kill they picked up right from the get-go. Now they're going to be a man down here. The smokes have come out. Freakazoid just going to try to brute force his way through it, but Sean is not ready for the support, so he's wide out in the open. This should be an easy kill for them to grab. He's looking for the headshots. He can't find anything, though, and now it's just Sean who's unfortunately going to have to save.
Nice take from Liquid, and they really capitalized on the fact that Skadoodle misses 3 shots that round with the AWP, and he just gets swarmed over, and it's actually interesting that Liquid, Hiko and Adren are the first 2 to fall. Usually they're the last 2 left alive. It's the other 3 who are the aggressors, but they're the ones who get Liquid up near the bomb site, and then Elige, Fugly, and Nitro, all that entry power eventually cleans it all out. And they steal that round away, so that resets the economy. I would expect to see another buy here, though. Shroud can buy up. They can buy some Famouses as well, and even Sean can drop a Famous over. So with this kind of a scoreline, I fully expect to see Cloud9 buy up here. And they are going to, so feeling a little bit on the ropes, but they have to get more rounds on the defensive side.
And for Liquid, again, they're mounted up, but their economy isn't particularly in the best position here at this point either, as they've been losing consistent players I talked about before. Although we did see them get a nice take, the trades were fairly even. Thankfully, they picked up an additional kill from the get-go, and for Freakazoid there, he kind of just walks right through that smoke, so that's an easy kill for the players on Liquid to pick up with the setup they had. Sean wasn't ready for the support, so that's an additional kill they pick up onto the Cloud9 members, but with the trades happening, they're still going to lose 2 players, and that still keeps their money at a fairly low position here with Cloud9 being able to trade out a couple rounds. But for Liquid, knowing that this buy-up here may end up being a possibility, they slow things down by a pretty big margin comparatively to the previous round. Just taking it back for the time being, and we can see now that they're going to slowly make their way into the apartments, not committing to it now. They do still have 2 players positioned at the bottom of middle, and also keeping Hiko on Banana in case we see an aggressive push from Cloud9 from that avenue, but for the time being, looks like they're trying to set up for an A take. Just going to be very, very slow and delayed.
Yeah, they have control of the A halls, so that's very good. They have control of apartments basically for free, so that map control is going to afford them a really strong take up mid. 2 members in lane, Shroud and nothing. As they run out of smoke and flashes, they just fall back towards the bomb site. They know they can't keep that aggressive posture without the utility to back it up. Meanwhile, Shroud, he still has one last smoke. He's going to drop that in towards hall, but most of Liquid has fallen back towards the B bomb site. 30 seconds left, still no pressure, and they seem very undecided. 2 members still now just falling and rotating away from the apartments, and they're just going to push up mid. This is all on this push, and all of Cloud9 is faked out. They're starting to rotate.
So now they're going to move some of their players, at least specifically. We're going to see Skadoodle making his way over to the B site, but the take's going to be on at B, so they've got to bring everybody back here, and the hold from Shroud has to be really, really good here, but he's going to get caught in a flank from Elige. Nothing is able to respond with a pickup there from within the site on a Nitro, but Elige trades that on him as well. So now, once again, they've got control. There was a missed call on Cloud9. There's only 3 seconds left, but of course, they're going to get the plant with him taking it at basically the last possible second. And with Cloud9 making that huge missed call, they're going to have no choice but to save once again.
Yeah, that really, really late round fake over towards the B bomb site, you could see just pulled all of Cloud9 away. And then when they realized it was actually going to be an A hit and they tried to get back into position, they just got, one opening got lost. That was on the Rap side. There was no one watching that, and it's basically a free kill coming around the site. So Liquid, they slow play that clock. And they do it really, really well, coinciding with that fake. So nice round from them, and now they've really got Cloud9 in a tough spot.
And Elise try to stack everybody into the corner here so they can all keep themselves alive. So everybody's going to keep themselves good. And obviously with the positions from Cloud9 way over there on the B site, nobody is even going to attempt to try and pick up those exit kills. So Liquid, and they even knew that was a possibility too. So we talked about in the beginning of the round how their money wasn't exactly solidified as yet. They wanted to make sure that they kept everybody up and rolling there, with the exception of the one that did end up getting traded out there by nothing, so that they could try to build up this economy a little more. As we still have a couple rounds left, and that money can help a little bit if Cloud9 start to strike back. But thankfully with the three saves, apologies, they're going to be able to buy up once again here. Two of the players, of course, that did die are pretty much stuck on pistols, unfortunately, and that's going to be Shroud and Nothing down to a P250 and a Deagle. But nonetheless, Liquid here still playing it fairly slow for the time being, making some good progress on the Banana. Sean's going to try to resist this, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to want to risk that gun this early into the round, but the smoke does allow him to get himself on top of the wheelbarrow at least. Going to catch a Dren, finishes him off with a headshot, and there's an opening kill now for these guys, but the rest of the push coming back over here towards the A site, already inside the apartments. Liege will pick up a nice headshot on the Shroud, and now they're working their way in around Rapside, where they're going to go up against Skadoodle. He's got the shotgun, though, finds the first one. Nitro quick to trade it out once again, though, and now Nothing's going to try to push in for a flank. Nobody watching for him at this point. So he could potentially open things up, but I think he's pushing this a little bit too slowly, unfortunately. And now he picks up an AK, but with no armor, Hiko is going to be able to easily dispatch him.
Yeah, smart play from Hiko. Nothing had to push forward, try and get an AK-47 to do some damage in this round, but now it's going to be all on his teammates, Sean and Freakazoid, coming from that B bomb site. Two members are stuck in the site, but with one over in the pit, that's Fugly. That's a great position to be in, and no kits for Cloud9 means if they want to go for this, they have to get a kill soon, or they have to just go for it. And Sean, he gets into a battle in lane with two, he sprays down one. That opens things up for Freakazoid. He's brought it down into a one-on-one. Only Hiko's left, and he's inside the bomb site, but still, no kit on Freakazoid. He's going to swing in wide. He's not going to spot Hiko, and Hiko's going to spray him down from behind. Nice headshot on the Freak, and that's going to be just another win for Liquid.
And Liquid absolutely running away with his half at this point now. Cloud9, again, we can see a pretty competent buy coming up from them once again, but the defense has just been so lapsed. The communication's been off on the CT side. They're not calling things quickly enough, and then when they are, they're misrotating a lot of the time because of the way that Liquid's been playing this, and constantly, too. Liquid finds the openers with no trades coming out from Cloud9, so they're able to have an advantage upon getting into the site, with it constantly happening here on A, and as well being given plenty of time to smoke and get into post plants. That just does not leave a lot of attempts here for Cloud9 to get themselves back into the site.
There's a good start, though. Freakazoid and Sean coming into play in this round. They push down B towards the car. They grab the first two kills, so Liquid in a 3-on-5 very early on. And now they're going to be stuck behind some smokes as well, so they've got to wait a bit longer. Cloud9 has a huge advantage into this round.
And with this now being taken up, Liquid slow things by a very, very big margin. Liege is going to stick back over here at the mid and alt-mid choke point, just to watch out in case anybody tries to push into these players and try to take them out, but now, after moving into Banana a little bit more, waiting for this molly to dissipate, they're going to catch this. Freakazoid, even as you can tell here, too, he wants to get this intel as early as possible to make up for some of the mistakes they've been having earlier in this half. He spots those players, knows they're coming in, can't solidify this as, yeah, this is going to be coming to this site just as of yet, because obviously 50 seconds on the clock, still plenty of time for Liquid to move in. But with him spotting those players, he's going to fall back, pop that smoke in, and this should buy them a little bit more time once again.
It's all up to Elige. He's brought up mid, and he's got to find a kill to get something open, and he does. He finds it on the Shroud on Rap side, but no one from the B bomb side has moved. Freakazoid and Sean being very, very disciplined, just staying here. But that Rap is weak, and Elige can even work his way into CT spawn if he chooses to. 30 seconds left, though. He's got to make a decision, and now he's going into arches. But he's got to start running. He's got to start getting to this B bomb, so you can see Fugly. They're trying to execute this hit right now, but they're being flashed back. Sean and Freak doing a great job of delaying so far, and Freak's going to grab one more. So does Sean, and that's going to be the round. Those two have put in a lot of work on this round.
Oh, it's Sean even just catching Elige, too, as he tried to run through the smoke. I think he saw his feet just before he popped out, but that's going to be a good lock on there. That takes down another round for Cloud9 off of a good start and a good setup there, too. I mean, you consider the positions from those two Cloud9 players. Even if we did see Elige rotating into a good spot, he wouldn't have been able to really hit any of them because they would have been behind first oranges and as well as the spools there, so it wouldn't have been too good of a spot. So they were prepped for that sort of situation, so him getting onto highway wasn't too big of a deal. So now they finally pick up a round, and in comes the issue here where Team Liquid really didn't have them solidified either on their end of the economy, so they're going to be able to buy up once again. Still pretty competent one with 3 AKs and two Tech 9s coming into play, but here on the last round now, they are going up against a more superior arsenal that Cloud9 has, and as well the AWP back on the Skadoodle as well. And already opening things up, Nothing finds a shot onto Liege, but Fugly's there to trade things out. And the rest of the team looking to push their way through the mid-choke point. Great flash on Skadoodle, so he's not going to be able to resist any of this. They're just rolling right into the site once again. On holds, but Adren finds the trade on a headshot onto Shroud. Now Skadoodle's time to party. He picks up the shot onto Adren. More rolling in, but they're slowing it down in a big way. And they've got a pretty competent hold at this point, along with Freakazoid. Armed potentially with a flank here too, but they may not even need that. Sean Garrison, Skadoodle just shut it down. And Cloud9 do bring it back a little bit to make it 5-10 at the end of the half.
Yeah, very nicely done from Cloud9 there at the end of those last 2 rounds, but I just don't think that's enough. I mean, historically, we all know the issues Cloud9 has had on Inferno. It's been one of their weaker maps for some time now, and still they seem like they haven't figured it out. And Liquid just bowls over him on the T side, so Cloud9's going to have to get out to a hot start, make sure they can really punish Liquid economically moving forward into the CTF. They got to make sure they can't have those smokes and Molotovs every single round, and they've got to keep their buys weak throughout this half if they want to have a chance.
Yeah, and for Cloud9, excuse me, we didn't see a whole lot. We didn't see a whole lot of the half, unfortunately, but from what we did see there, as you mentioned before, the communication being a big issue for these guys and a lot of just general improvements that need to be made. But now jumping onto the T side, we saw that fragging power coming back a little bit towards the end of the half, and now it just needs to shine in a big way here as Team Liquid already have a big start, and picking up that pistol will make it that much harder for Cloud9 to get themselves back in, being reliant on almost completely gun rounds to get themselves back into this, essentially, if we see Liquid picking up the pistol.
All 5 with armor. Look at Nitro and Elige. They're pushing down mid. They're getting very aggressive. They have a lot of intel, but that's going to leave a lot onto Hiko. He's hiding in pit right now, and a lot of Cloud9 members are pushing up into the halls, but they've slowed things down. Sean's trying to make his way through underpass, and I don't know if he realizes how much aggression there is out of Liquid. Now he's hearing the footsteps, but Elige gets a nice shot onto nothing, gives him that at start, and Sean still hasn't pounced, and he gets spotted out. Adren takes him out. Everyone from Cloud9 pushes towards the apartment, tries to come back once they hear all this aggression, and they're just getting slaughtered now. This is a beatdown. Even Elige is going to pick window, and he's going to assassinate Scoodle on the side, and Adren cleans up Shroud. So what a round from Team Liquid. Cloud9 mismanages that aggression down mid.
Pure and outright aggression there, too, with nobody from Cloud9 watching out for a banana push. They're not going to be able to stop that. Nobody gets in the way, and Cloud9 just get wiped by the wayside, essentially, over there towards alt mid as Liquid get themselves into superior positions and shut it down.
Well, they had no one to spot that mid aggression, and I think if they had seen 2 to 3 members of Team Liquid pushing down mid with 4 members over in those halls, they would have said, just rush it, just take that A site, just do whatever trade you have to do, get in and get the bomb planted and play the post plan. But they didn't have that intel because all 5 members went into alt mid. That's why you saw Sean going underpass. So just a little bit of a small mistake, but it gives them a very, very bad result in the end.
And now for Cloud9, they're going to try to work their way inside. As they're going to be very, very far behind at this point, but it's a crazy setup here for the players that'll be working their ways out through long haul. Nitro and Fugly already prepped for this. The flash comes out, but none of them really affected. Freakazoid finds a way out, but now Nitro coming in there on top of the pole. He's going to pick up 2. Adren finding one of the stragglers here, but they still get 2 onto the site. Unfortunately, it's not secure at all. Nothing's going to wrap down. Almost is going to be able to finish off Nitro. Skadoodle will have to do the job for him, but still now he's stuck with 21 HP, no utility, and in a 1-on-2 at this point. Not going to be too good, especially with Hiko already catching him down there in the pit. Can't find the headshot, and Hiko doing some team damage there, but still they're going to be able to press forward, and this should be an easy pickup for Elige if he gets close enough.
Yeah, Scoodle finally finds that Thomas, but you're right. I mean, there's just nothing he can really do. Hiko cleans him out. Really well played by Nitro. That round could have been completely different. Nitro stays alive for so long, but he was at a tough spot. That second kill he manages to get, he was so close to falling to him, and if he had, you know, they would have lost pit control, they would have lost site control, so there at least would have been a bomb plant for Cloud9, and it would have been a retake for Liquid. But as it stands now, 12-5 for Team Liquid. And Cloud9, they're gonna have to save here. They have 3 grenades to try and either nade up middle or nade towards the banana car to make something happen early, but their backs are against the wall now.
And we'll see exactly how this pans out. The nades aren't really going to do much, to be completely honest, there as they get tossed up. Very little connection onto Adren, but obviously nothing that he has to worry too much about with Cloud9 for the most part, just being stuck on their default pistols. They have 2 P250s invested into this round, along with still 1 nade on nothing, but that's all they've got to work with. And Team Liquid should have this one easily secured up to 13 points. The rest of Cloud9 going to work their way up banana for the time being, or at least the majority of them. And for Liquid, they should probably just be able to push through middle, specifically Adren, and as soon as the smoke fades, they may be able to catch this, but they're actually being pretty passive about this for the time being, so that intel won't come out till pretty late, and especially now with these Cloud9 players getting in position, it's going to be all on the hinges of both Elige and Hiko to hold off the initial rush, as I imagine they're all going to come in at once.
Yeah, only 1 flashbang left on Elige as well, but they should be able to just mow this down when it eventually comes in. There's only 1 nade on nothing, so Hiko's not going to be smoked off playing towards CT spot. Now they've spotted one. Elige gets that first kill. Nade comes out towards Hiko. He's just grabbing this angle. They're going to swing wide on him. He sprays down the first one. Elige's going to peek as well. Hiko does eventually fall, and actually Elige's going to as well, so there's a chance for a bomb plant if Adren can't get this kill. Shroud's just got to try and get this down. It's his only option. I think Adren was going to beat that, and he does. So the up kill onto Shroud at the end, that's going to clean things up. No plant for Cloud9. 13-5 now. They need to go on a little bit of a run here to give themselves any kind of a chance.
And we'll see exactly how it goes, because this could be really one of their last chances to swing back into this one now. Pretty much the full buyout coming out from Cloud9 with the AKs. No off, unfortunately, on the Skadoodle, so they're not going to have the big gun there. Team Liquid, same story for them, just off of the fact that they haven't really had enough. For a Dren, you can definitely do it, but obviously with their players not going down enough here, they're not going to want to spend the extra cash, just as if yet to go for the upgrade, where they could have gone for it, honestly, but here we go already. Nitro and Fugly opening up with 3 big kills. Freakazoid finds 1 response, but Nitro pushing up. Sean Garris will be able to pick him up, as Nitro's going to run out of ammo, but still now it leaves only Sean Garris alive. They've already got a pretty good idea as to where he's pushing into, and I imagine as he comes out to balcony, Hiko gonna take it nice and slow, but there's an easy kill. Team Liquid again come out on top. Cloud9 played a little bit too quickly and right into the arms of Liquid, and Cloud9 will lose another round and pretty much set Liquid up to almost take this map with pretty much full dominance on both halves.
Yeah, that's just Liquid being supremely confident, setting the pace, and just pushing down, not letting Cloud9 get into any kind of a comfort zone whatsoever. And up with that kind of a lead at 13-5, I doubt Cloud9 expected any kind of aggression like that. But Liquid, I mean, that was a statement with that push. So they just mowed Cloud9 down so quickly. That round was over really before it actually even began. And once again, Cloud9, no armor into this round. They've got to save so they can have some AK-47s moving forward. But this time they have smokes and flashes. They got 3 smokes left, 3 flashes as well. So they can try and set up some kind of an execute to get the bomb planted.
And they're going to slowly, in the case of Sean Garris, creep his way up Banana to try and catch anything there. Liquid, again, not being super aggressive this time around, actually going to give a little bit more respect to Cloud9, so they'll get an opportunity to set up for this take onto the B site. Hiko and Elige will be the 2 to defend it, but they still have a pretty strong chance to do so here with a very minimal armor investment on the Cloud9. They've got the utility to do so, but Liquid still have been very good at countering out with smoke positioning, so they still should be able to catch some of these guys if they walk in based on the previous performance from their T side. And as for the rest on the A side here, still held pretty far back, but as soon as this starts, you can bet that they're going to rotate in as quickly as possible, especially in the case of a Dren, who's pretty much already standing by just outside of Arches.
Yeah, and this hit could be scary. This time, Elige and Hiko are playing a little bit farther back. Molotov in the hands of Elige. He's going to drop that, so that's going to buy some time. Cloud9 choosing not to run through it, but there's a good kill onto Hiko, and now Elige is stuck at second Oranges, but everyone's so low, and Shroud just eliminates him as well, so this is a great take out of Cloud9 with some really nice shots out of Shroud and Freak.
The problem is, though, is they take a lot of damage there that come up from the mollies. The 2 upgrades onto the AKs have to do so much work, specifically with Shroud here just outside of the construction position. Won't be able to catch Nitro as he works his way through and misses the headshot opportunity as he works in. So Nitro clears out one of them. Now the rest are going to move in. So all 3 players on Liquid armed with kits at this point and with full health too. So they're going to be looking very good rolling back in. Nitro finds one. Skadoodle catching a trade from behind second Oranges. So now these 2 still in sight. Skadoodle holds the second one, and now actually Sean Garris is going to be able to roll his way out. Nothing finds the final kill onto Nitro, and they're going to be able to maintain after all.
Yeah, that was a sick take. Elige and Hiko doing a lot of damage with Molotovs, but just falling to those pistols so quickly. And that was the thing. When those smoke executes came out, I was really surprised. Liquid didn't move anyone off of the A bomb site whatsoever. So once those 2 at the B site fell, the rotations were nowhere near. Plenty of time for Cloud9 to get aggressive towards construction, to pick up the guns and get in post-plant situations. And they're going to win that round, so they buy a little bit of a life there. 14-6 now for Team Liquid, and the economy is gone now for the CT side. This is their last buy. If they lose this round, they're going to have to be forced onto a save, and coming up mid quickly is Cloud9. Adren gets 1 before being traded off, but Cloud9, they can slow things down now if they want. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, but they're just going to keep pushing their way up ramp side.
Fugly, unfortunately, one of the 2 still left in this site, and he's only got a 5-7 invested with no flashes or anything, so he's going to try to get a little bit creative as he works his way back over and inside of the apartments more. Sean Garris probably going to be able to catch this one, though, so I don't imagine this working out too well, but at the same time, Liquid do have some of these guys boxed in, but nonetheless, Sean finding that kill into Fugly as we expected. Elige finding the trade from within middle, and now Nitro 2 catching 1 and 2 there from within side of the pit, so it just leaves it as the 2 left here on the Cloud9. Shroud and Freak. Freak sitting within the cubby, and Shroud back over here on the site itself, but he's not the one with the bomb. And Nitro is still even playing with him a little bit there behind the pole, too. So Cloud9 have a pretty good setup to just shut this down, and they're taking it nice and passively here. Apologies, Team Liquid with a pretty good setup to shut this down as they take it nice and passively, and that's all they're really going to have to work to do at this point. As we can see, Liquid just waiting essentially for Cloud9 to try to force that bomb in, which they won't be able to do with Freak. He's going to try to move over here, but Hiko's waiting for him actually inside of the library so they don't catch him, and Freak will try to run away with this one, but now Hiko's seen it. He's going to actually go back into the site to recommit. With 23 seconds left, they finally regroup the 2 together, which is amazing they could do this much, but there's the quick shutdown from Liquid. Nitro and Elise finish off the final 2, and now we're at match point for Team Liquid.
That was a beautiful response from Liquid. Once Cloud9 starts hitting up ramp side after that Adren trade, they smoke off small pit from the big pit from across the map. map, so they smoke that off, and that stalls out that hit from Cloud9. They have to wait behind that smoke, and from there, that allows Nitro to get a nice spot over towards Truck. One player's flanking from B, buys him time to rotate over. One player's pushing through Hall, so they lose map control on Rap side, but they take it completely into the A Halls and middle side, so that's the thing. Once you get stalled out, once you lose that map control, Liquid doesn't remain stagnant and passive, they just take it elsewhere and use it to their advantage.
And now for the Cloud9 players on potentially their last round at this point here, not with a very sufficient buy going into it. The Deagle on Skidoodle, 2 Tech-9s on the Shroud and Freak, and along with Sean Garrison, nothing, those 2 AKs. It's going to have to be a miracle take. Liquid, they're already using up a decent amount of the utility, but they've still got plenty left in the tank here to use with them later on in the round. Cloud9, I think, are just going to go directly in. A little bit more split up this time when you compare it to the last round, as they took a page out of their Follow Esports game, but now we're going to split it up and try to play it more dynamically. Fugly going to be right in the way, so they're going to know this is coming almost from the get-go. The smoke come in, and this is actually going to give Fugly room to fall back, so he won't be overexposed. He gets flashed, but nonetheless is going to grab a kill and now falls back, and they don't even know exactly where he is. Nothing's going to jump down. He doesn't finish him off, but he moves over, and Adren, with the assistance there, is going to come in and shut him down. Sean will be able to take out Fugly, but Adren and Hiko just quickly knock it back out, and that's going to be a very swift end to the map in the favor of Team Liquid by a huge margin here on Inferno.
Yeah, that was sick from them, and really, I mean, it started out the dominance started from the rounds that we didn't get to see. And, you know, when I joined, it was 5-1 or 5-2. So Liquid gets out to a hot start on their terror side, which is so important. But that CT side was just aggression on pistol round, aggression on that first gun round, just really shut down anything Cloud9 wanted to do, set the mood for the rest of the match, and all around just good stuff.
Alright guys, so we're actually going to jump directly into our next match here. Let's head into it. I'm assuming the producer's already in, and it's going to be Enemy GG versus Conquest here on to Overpass. Currently we're 6-6 in the middle of the round, and Conquest is on the aggression here on T side, trying to work their way into that A site, waiting for the response. Now they've got a good rotate call to get their players up onto here, but as we can see, the push is going to come in regardless, and for the players on Enemy, they honestly don't have too much invested, as I think they're on an eco round at this point, so Conquest should just have a pretty easy time walking through this, and that does appear to be the case. Already 2 kills in their favor. Stanislaw ripping apart a third, and for Uber, he's going to quickly fall after that one as well. So there you have it. Conquest now will lead things 7-6 as we jump directly into this game as well. Not a whole lot to riff off of, unfortunately for you, Moses, but...
No, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, an Enemy here is going to be... They're going to force buy. So they've already lost 7. They don't want to lose another one in this half. They want to come out on top, and they pick up the FAMASes. No kits, though, for them, and actually a little bit light on utility. A couple grenades. They have 4 smokes to work with. But that op of Shazam could be something that they have trouble with as the round gets later in. Once those smokes disappear in the choke points, they might not have anything to block them off from just finding some picks. So... very spread out from Conquest so far. No real committal, just in a default, watching for any kind of aggression.
Uber, along with Relics, are going to sit themselves over here in a pretty back position over here onto the B side, watching out for that. But Conquest, as we already mentioned before, splitting themselves up to try and play this out for picks early on. Mainline's in that boosted spot, working with Kusa to do that. Nobody from Conquest really going to get into the view pane of this for the time being, as they still are going to work for this boost position. But as we said before, without anybody from Conquest really sort of playing into this one, it's not going to be able to do too much. And now the rest of Conquest, at least 3 of them, are going to push their way up here through long A to make that take, and Enemy still have no clue this is coming at this point. The flashes and whatnot are going over onto the B site, and that's for the rest of the team. They're going to push their way in, looking for a little bit of a split take, but there we go. Now that boost is going to do some work. Mainline picks up the kill on a Stanislaw. That's going to hold back the push a little bit here from Conquest, but they still have a decent amount of time to work with. But the big key coming off of this one is now Enemy should have a pretty good idea that the aggression is still going to be coming from here. Not going to rotate the additional 2 off of the B site just as of yet, but they will have to do that in a minute here, as now they're getting their players in a position for the take, which is coming in from Conquest right now.
Yeah, but so much aggression and Bath in this bomb might get stuck. Naf gets that first kill, traded off by Kusa. Nicely done. He grabs 2. That could be the round. 15 seconds left on the clock. Kusa just has to delay, and he's actually going to get that nade kill combined with the damage that Anomaly did. So a good defense from Enemy. That stack coming up huge. They find that first kill, and that alleviates a lot of pressure.
We should mention too, by the way, not to, because we sort of had to very quickly jump in between, but because of that previous game between Liquid and Cloud9, those two are going to go 1-for-1 for the season. Of course, Cloud9 taking the earlier match if you watched it last week, and then Liquid just taking this one now. But in terms of the overall season stats, that's now going to give Cloud9 their second loss, and they won't be able to jump into first place. Liquid will maintain the spot in first place here for the season, and Cloud9 are going to remain in second for the time being.
Aggression downstairs from Enemy. Mainline's got a good position to stall this out. He's going to have 2 people to deal with, and he's going to swing out. They line up for him. He gets a dink on a stand, but he falls overall. So the advantage goes to Conquest in the early round. Uber's just trying to spot to see if they're coming out these stairs, and he actually fluffs a grenade just a little bit. Doesn't go anywhere near he want. Meanwhile, the aggression from Conquest, they've come down party and they've come up these stairs and they're going to get aggressive onto bathrooms, which is where Kusta and one other teammate are playing. They're actually going to boost up, try and peer over the smoke. Kusta spots one around the edge, but the smoke clears, so they've got to fall back now. They're in the open, but they can't get away without a fight. Kusta's going to grab 2 more. Now they smoke it off. Now they can buy themselves a little bit of space to fall back and get some defensive positioning.
The problem is, though, is that they're just going to catch on to this push coming in from main long a little bit too late, so Rush is going to waltz in. He picks up 2 kills. Naf coming in with the 3rd back over there by the dumpster as they try to get Uber up onto the site, but it's far too late, and now it's just Relics in the 1-on-3. Both Rush and Daps are very low, but Relics, as he pushes forward, he is going to try to go for this one. They don't actually know where he is just as of yet, so they're going to split themselves up pretty dynamically, and we sort of have Rush going in for a flank onto the flank right now. So although Relics is primed to make some good progress, I think Rush already has a pretty good idea and may be able to shut him down quickly. That's not even going to be needed, though, as Naf just finds the easy headshot and takes it down to end the half. 8-7 in the favor of Conquest.
Yeah, really smart play from Rush, knowing with 2 members pushed up towards bathroom, he's got a small window of opportunity before the rotation comes in to really cover towards long that he can cut off their fallback. So he just swings out before Uber can rotate from the B bomb site to get that position, and he eliminates 2. That opens up the bomb site. So really well done from him. Good decision making there at the end of that round, and that puts Conquest in the lead. 8 rounds on their terrace half of overpass. That's a very, very strong offense.
And now coming off of this one here, Enemy, obviously with a little bit of trouble, they're going to have to work their T-side aggression, which we've seen trouble with in the past year, just kept riffing off of some of the other matches that we've seen from them. Their communication, and taking a look, just trying to sort of recall here previously from some of their matches too. I think that's been some of their bigger issues, is that specifically if they play against a very aggressive CT side, I've noticed that Enemy aren't really able to respond to that pretty good. So if Conquest are going to be able to catch on to this, and we've seen this from them before too, in sort of a reactionary strategy. If we see them play that aggressive side, I've got a bad feeling that Enemy may have some trouble reacting to that just due to their issues that they're still having with some of the in-game leading and general communication on the T side.
Yeah, they're a new team, so that is one thing that they struggle with, the new move up to Pro League this season. I mean, they tend to just kind of get caught off guard by, you know, those just balls out aggression. And it can be a difficult thing to handle. But actually, Enemy, I think, has made great strides in a lot of ways. You know, normally we see these teams, these new move-ups, really, really struggle at the bottom of the league, and they're sitting in the middle of the pack. They also had a really good Fragadelphia, where they came in 2nd place behind Torqued. But they had some good results. Did better than I expected them to against Torqued, to be completely honest with you.
And just sort of as we look at, actually that's their most recent match as we take a look at the stats for Enemy there too, was that game, and it was played over here on Overpass too. It was versus the Torque players back at Fragadelphia. Fortunately, didn't really go so well for them there as they got 16 aided by them, and overall this has just been previously a very, very weak map for Enemy, so unfortunately the odds are not going to be looking so good. The fact that they keep it close is a good thing when you consider the fact that CT side is going to be greater, but looking at their T-sided win rate, it's just overall something that they've been looking to overcome so far for this entire season, and have failed to do, and it leaves them at currently one of the weakest T-sided win rates here on all of their maps, with only 28% of the overall rounds they played here being won on the T-side.
So from Conquest, it's going to be a heavy play over towards that B bomb site. Naf's going to get aggressive in bathrooms, try and spot something out. Meanwhile, Daps is just jumping just to see if they're going to come out these doors or come through short sewers, but they're going to go up the stairs. And Naf's going to hear all these footsteps, so he's going to start calling the rotation, but they only have Rush here. And he's in a position where he can't hide. He's going to get, this is a one-and-done spot. He even gets blinded. The plant's going to go down. He's not spamming whatsoever, looking for more. And it's going to be all on Naf. He's got to do some damage on this flank, but he's been spotted out early. There's Rush with 1 kill. And now Enemy's got to deal with Naf behind him. He grabs 1. And he's still alive, and that might just be the cincher in the round. And now we also see Stanislaw coming up on the flank, and he's going to get 1. So Enemy, get into the bomb site, get the plant, but these flanks have completely destroyed them. And there's the defuse. Kit on Shazam ends it quickly. Conquest takes a pistol right away from Enemy.
And there's that aggressive CT side that I was looking to see at a Conquest to count out Enemy right from the get-go. They just push it right into their face, work those flanks, and Enemy have no clue how to react to that quickly. So they're going to be down already here, and Conquest will be able to maintain their lead right from the start.
They got everything they wanted. They just couldn't, they didn't clear out bathrooms. That was the one thing, is that once that flank got spotted from Naf, because he was in bathrooms the whole time, they just had no answer to it. So they had a couple members fighting up towards the A bomb site, a couple members split off to fight the flankers, and they couldn't win any of the battles. Too much havoc wreaked, and now we're going to see a very, very quick play towards this B bomb site. No committal quite yet, but it is a buy-up, and here come the smokes and flashes. They're going to start coming with these Tech 9s and armor.
Stanislaw within the pit, already ready for this one, and spraying down a little bit of damage there. He's going to be able to also eliminate the bomb carrier. And with Daps jumping down too, it doesn't really look like this is going to be able to push itself in too far. Kust and Relics, although Relics will be able to escape with an additional kill on a Stanislaw. You can see more of the players getting into position. Shazam will connect that shot, and again, another 2-kill comes out from Kusta, but at the end of a little bit of a confusing trade there, Conquest still come out on top and pick up that second round, but at a heavy loss to them, just a bit unfortunate that Enemy weren't able to sneak through with the plant.
Yeah, pretty decent amount of economic damage. The 3 kills onto that round. No plant kind of hurts a little bit, but Enemy's going to be okay with that kind of a trade-off in the second round. You can see they're going to shuffle around some weapons on the CT side. 2 M4s on the board. Naf's going to have a FAMAS, and Stan picks up the MP7 to try and recuperate some of that money. But unfortunately, because of the no plant, no ability to force up again for Enemy, they're going to be stuck on some upgraded pistols, no armor, and just 1 flashbang to use.
And for Enemy, obviously not looking too confident here, but they do stick themselves together in a pretty solidified group. The 4-man push, splitting it with 2 going over towards short A, 2 going over towards long A, and then keeping Uber as well alive to make his way down over here through long. But the push has got to be consistent. They've got to find those entries. Anomaly kind of looking through here as well to see if we can get a little bit of intel over there from short A, but not coming out too strongly. And as the blind push essentially comes down there through long A too, Shazam already going to be able to shut one down. Mainline peeking out a little bit too wide out of bathrooms. Daps is going to be able to catch this one as well. So already Enemy have been stunned. They try to go for the stack, but again, Conquest with them picking up this many kills this early, they've got no reason to address that, and I highly doubt this stack is going to really do much.
Yeah, no, they're just trying to get a little bit cute, see if they can catch someone pushing off, and yeah, it's not going to come from anything, so...
Whoa.
Oh, well, he gets off the stack, so I still maintain that I was correct in that aspect, but a nice shot from Kusta drops Daps, and now they've got a little bit of an opening, but Shazam swings out, he grabs Anomaly, he continues the spray, can't find the other kill onto Kusta, but he's brought him down very, very low, so not much really left to do for Enemy. They're going to have to try and get into this bomb site, get a kill or 2 more, and try and get that plant.
Nav very low, so he's just basically going to be stuck in a corner, but the timer also getting very low for Enemy now, so they've got to make this push. Shazam should be able to see them coming in, but can't connect the spray there. Now, however, they're going to line up, and he should be able to finish them off, and even though he doesn't pick up the final kill, Naf's ready to roll for that, so he's going to pick it up, and Conquest again come out strong. A lot cleaner than the previous round, of course, picking up the 4 players left alive, and really not letting Enemy get into the site to begin with that time.
This is a very top-heavy performance out of Enemy right now. We don't see a very good kill spread. Kusta and Mainline at 19 and 18 kills respectively. The rest of them are down on 7. So those 3 players are going to have to step it up in this second half if they want to find some success, if they want a chance at making a comeback in this match. And the scary part is this first round is going to be Shazam with an AWP. Kusta doesn't have one of his own. And actually this boost, peering right over the edge of the smoke, going to try and catch any Enemy player coming down those stairs quickly off guard. And the only one really in trouble of that happening is Kusta.
The timing on it, though, not looking like it's going to end up being the best for Shazam, so he won't catch anything with this. Just ends up conceding to fall back to the site there for the time being. So Enemy get themselves pretty far pushed up towards long A, and are probably going to be peeking out in just a second, but they end up working their way down towards short once again, as they know Shazam is probably going to have that op primed and ready, and without really any good utility amount to push into this, or with them rather, not wanting to waste any of that utility just to get themselves out long to begin with. They'll sit back for the time being. Only Anomaly will end up pushing that angle, but even his smoke looks like it's going to be used to make the players on short a little bit more effective, as that 3-man push will be working its way onto the A site. Conquest seem pretty much standard, though, as they haven't been able to spot out any intel for themselves, and they're going to sit back. But now the smokes come in. The rotation's already being called as they're moving 2 players up to this site. But Enemy, if they move quickly enough, they might be able to get in before those rotations can arrive. As the push comes in now from Enemy, the smoke wall's been used, but they're not finding anything, and we can see some responses coming out. They're looking for that kill over on the Nap, but they're just going to walk right in. Mainline going for the plant, and nobody's going to end up trading out anything here at the beginning of this. And now these players will continue to push forward. Conquest trying to find their way back into the site, but there's Kusta picking up the opening kill. And this smoke wall is just giving Enemy so much room to work with, but at the same time, it still leaves a lot of players left alive here. There's Shazam with a shot. Relics, though, behind Sime. Nobody spots him. He picks up a kill, but that's traded out very quickly. As is Anomaly, though, and it leaves it into 2 players alive from Conquest. Shazam finding one, and Rush moving in to finish things off. They've got to get this defused, though, and it's all just on him. Hasn't even spotted Anomaly just yet, and this is planning for him, so it should be an easy closeout. He's waiting for it, and again, the timer is not working for Rush at this point, so out pops Anomaly. He finds the final kill, and Enemy do win out the first gun round after all.
Yeah, nice round from Enemy. They throw that execute. They have all the smokes up wherever they would want them, but they're patient. They don't run through the Molotov. They don't take too much damage from the nades. And they just watch for any kind of aggression through the smoke. It doesn't come, but there was a lot of utility used by Conquest to delay that push, so they didn't really have very much for the retake. So despite having 4 members there, all of them are stuck behind smoke. No kills going their way, and that's just too much to do when the afterplant comes in. So nicely done from Enemy. They grabbed their first round of the half, and because of this light damage that was done in the second 2 rounds after pistol, and this forces an immediate save out of Conquest.
And now for Conquest, they're going to try to play it a little bit more aggressively this time as Shazam and Daps move their way inside of Connector to catch any players moving in from Enemy there. Not going to find it. The rest of Enemy now moving in, and Anomaly was sort of in the tunnels there, but again, he wasn't there to begin with, so they're not going to be able to catch him. It'll be Mainline That picks up the initial opening kill over here on a NAF now as they start to push their way in towards lower. They spot a lot of the players here, but don't catch the bomb back over there by the fountain just as of yet, so they're not going to be able to mobilize upon this. But look at this flanking maneuver they're trying to work towards right now. If they don't get caught on this could be a huge Cajun coming out from the Conquest side. They're going to spot Kusa there, Shazam. Well, now it's all going to be about picking up those kills. Daps is in position, but he fires a little bit too soon. Now Kusa can walk in, almost take him down. There's some good response shots coming out, but unfortunately for Stanislaw, as he comes in to try and support, he's just going to get shut down by Relics. And Anomaly finding another kill on the Daps as well. So it was a good lineup from Conquest, but this unsuperior gun spread they had here is not really going to let them do all that much as they work their way into this site.
Yeah, clean sweep for enemy. A nice anti-eco. Really well done. Don't lose a single player as well. Kusta that round only had a pistol, so saving up like he wants to have as much money as possible to try and go for an AWP. This might actually be a... No, it's not. Thought it might be a 2-round save for Conquest. But they're going to buy out. So Famas on Stanislaw, M4s across the board for the rest of them. Pretty decent nades as well. Only Shazam is really light on it. And on the other hand, enemy, all 5 members heading over towards this B bomb site very, very quickly.
And it's going to be a quick take on to that, but at the same time, Conquest are pushing forward to try and aggress against this now, and the sprays coming out from both of them. Stanislaw and Rush just ripping these players to shreds. That's immediately going to hold back enemy, and even switching over to the USP, Stanislaw is going to be able to do some more damage. Mainline down to 56, Kust 20, and Uber at 51. Not a whole lot left for enemy to do, considering they just tried to waltz right into that site and immediately got denied by Conquest on their own aggressive push, and this round has just been stunted right from the get-go.
Yeah, smart from Rush and Stanislaw. Both of them choose to just swing out and spray through that narrow pipe, the monster pipe, and they mow 2 players down, and no one from enemy even saw anyone. And look at their HP on the remaining 3. 2 kills and that much damage without seeing anyone. Enemy just got slapped.
And they're trying to figure out where exactly they can make this push towards at this point. Working 2 players inside of the tunnels. They're still keeping Uber in the same general area just in case they try to move in to get the intel there, but still, with already this big advantage, Conquest have also been allowed a lot of room to just move out and try to get the intel, so we can see Shazam waiting just inside of the bathrooms, may even be able to catch these 2 if they do decide to come back up the steps, but they're going to recommit themselves to the B site, as both will work their way out here towards the sewers and try to find their way back onto that site, but at the same time, you can just look at what Conquest have here, but this boost actually comes out from Kusta as they line that up. That's going to pick up a shot in the Stanislaw. They'll find a response at the very least, but it's not enough to get them back into this. However, it does push them back, and now Shazam, he's going to pick up that 1 kill as he gets aggressive. Uber moving back in for Monster, trying to find a kill for himself, but Naf is able to respond, and Shazam, once again, coming down those steps, finishes off the other 2 back by sewers.
Yeah, and Shazam really makes that happen. He's the one who makes that play work. Even if they lose a player initially to that boost that enemy did, Shazam was so aggressive in halls. He had such a good position that he knew exactly that when they would have been rotating back towards the A bomb site. And because he never saw anyone, never felt any pressure, that allows Conquest to stack 4 members over at that B site. And then eventually, when the hit does start coming in, Shazam just has an easy flank, grabs 2 kills on it, wins him the round. But it is going to be another buy from enemy. It's only Anomaly who's stuck onto a Deagle. 4 rifles outside of that.
And Uber, once again, is going to be the noisemaker back down over outside of Monster underneath the tracks. The rest of enemy moving their way into short A for the time being, but Conquest as well. At least in the case of Shazam, he's pushed forward pretty heavily, watching out for a push that would come over across the flower box at long. But it doesn't actually look like enemy, at least for the time being, are going to be playing towards that. They can still transition to it once they get themselves inside the bathrooms, which will be the case for Kusta. But we'll see in just a second here, as he may end up going pretty aggressively past this threshold. Holds back for now, but here he comes, and that's an easy kill for Shazam as Kusta jumps right out there into his crosshairs.
Yeah, Shazam now, he hasn't seen anything, so he's just going to push forward. And no one from enemy is here, so he grabs that intel, he just falls straight back. He had some support with him, but enemy, for the amount of time that's left on the clock, they really haven't made any progress whatsoever. And it looks like one member pushing up towards bathrooms, the rest of them are going to fall back, so it's going to be up to Relics to try and find something, and he does, right through the smoke, grabs a 2-tap, and he gets a second one as well. This is huge. This is going to start forcing rotates, but not Stanislaw. Stanislaw stays at the B bomb site. He's disciplined. He grabs 1. Now he knows he's patiently waiting for them to come up, and that called rush back as well, so that crossfire just eliminates the final surge for enemy in that round, 13-9, and enemy's going to be onto a save here, so Conquest with firm control of this match.
And now with 13 points onto the board too, this secures the 14th point. Enemy, of course, should only need to save just this 1 round here as they go for just a very light buyout this time. Couple upgrades on the pistols here and there, but no armor, no utility, so expect this to be the easy 14th point coming out from Conquest unless a miracle occurs. And that will put basically all of the emphasis on that next round here. Conquest, if they can shut it down, they've got this game in the bag at this point. And enemy as well just need to solidify these pushes and need to try and get some more aggression rolling here as they're giving Conquest too much room to move out. They get too much intel early on, and then they could just counter out the positions here. But there we go now. Anama's going to try to push into Naf, but he catches two of them before Uber can shut it down. And even after that happens, Shazam finds the trade kill. He's even going to move in and shut down the player that killed his own teammate. And Relics, just like that, is the last player alive, stuck behind a smoke just outside the bathrooms on Shore Day.
He can't do anything. He's got a deagle to work with here, the hypnotic deagle, but so many people up here to deal with, and Shazam's just going to end it quickly now. One of the things that we've noticed, we talked about that top heavy that enemy had in the first half with Kusa and mainline at like 19 and 18 kills. Well, they've only got 3 kills and 1 kill in the second half, 2 kills and 1 kill in the second half, so no one's really doing too much killing on the enemy side, and part of that, Kusa hasn't been able to have an AWP this whole time. That's his signature weapon, so they can't really go for any kind of pick whatsoever. Now Shazam's got one in his hand, so another huge advantage for Conquest, but enemy's really been struggling to find success early on in these rounds.
And now we're going to see aggression from Conquest once again, though, to try and set out the players from enemy. It's worked before, and as they roll their way out here, they're going to catch a big fight, but Anomaly comes out in a huge way, finds those 2 headshots. Daps comes out with the P90 to pick up an additional kill. Stan still holds from within construction, too, and he's going to be able to find another shot on the Relics as he shuts him down. And just like that, it was looking good from the get-go, but now they're going to be able to evenly trade things. Mainline takes down Daps. He's got an opportunity to recontrol this bomb, but still with Stanislaw on the site, he's got to watch out for this one, especially if he pushes down towards the tracks area, as he's going to run right into a headshot from Stan, and that's exactly what is going to happen here, as now it's just Kusta. Again, all on his lonesome.
Yeah, and I think Kusta, that flank, I mean, he was so far away from the action, even with the bomb planted. He's on the other side of the map, and it's got to be just the pressure that he knows Shazam has been applying in those bathrooms. You know, he's seen him come in for some quick flanks throughout this half, so he's trying to be over there and clear out that close push opportunity, but no one's there, so it's kind of just leaving his teammate in a 1-on-2 at that B bomb site, and now he's in a really tough spot.
And Kusta just trying to figure out exactly what he can work with here. He gets a pick up on a molly at the very least, but with all this time passing by at this point, it's given easily enough room for the players on Conquest to get themselves lined up to counter out his push here. He's going to walk out. Shazam misses his opportunity to hit that shot there, but also hitting if Stanislaw here and even connecting some damage as well with the deagle there, so that's going to bring him down to just 63 HP. As he tries to sit back, there's not really a whole lot he can do, to be honest. Might just want to consider running away, but he walks out. Thankfully, at the very least, dies before the round ends, so he's going to get the pickup there, but an easy pickup for Stan. He actually holds strong there and is one of the big players as he picks up those 3 kills from within the site, but still not any dice coming out here from the enemy side, and they're not going to have a whole lot of cash going into what could possibly be the final round.
That's the big problem, isn't it? That he's not able to get that bomb plant in that round. He had to go for it. You know, you're in a 1-on-2. That's a winnable situation. Unfortunately, only 20 seconds left, so his options were really limited. Conquest didn't have to move from that spot whatsoever. They just kept eyes on short and eventually drop him. And now, what do you do with the only pistols? You have 1 Deagle, 3 Tech 9s, and a Galil. And they put the paces on over towards B. They take the short sewers up towards sandbags very, very quickly, but they fall off it. They do force some Molotovs and smokes to be used, so that's a good start. But they've got to find these kills somehow when it comes in, and they don't really have a great amount of utility with which to do it. They do have 5 smokes, but very light on flashbangs.
Fresh and Stan were already ready for that push to come in there through construction, as obviously we saw them getting a pretty great crossfire situation, so if enemy had pushed through with that one, it would not have gone good. As you said, it does waste a lot of the utility early on, but they've got plenty more of that to offer. Still 3 mollies in play and a smoke sitting on the rush, which he's going to use right now. And now Relics makes the first attempt to push in through construction. That's going to get found out as he shuts them down. They're looking for more down here as well. They get some nice damage over on the main line to bring him down to just 20 HP, but the rest of the team, they're actually moving over towards short A, where they're going to have to try to stop that. A great shot from Kusta as he gets himself on top of the flower box there. That's going to take down Shazam, and now they've got an angle to possibly push in here. Naf will be ready for this one, though, as he sits back and Stan picks up another kill. That's going to be happening once again down towards B. Naf will catch a whiff here, though. He's going to pick up a kill, as does Daps, and again, it was looking great, but it just gets shut down right after that, and Conquest do end up closing it out on this round after all.
Yeah, well, there's 2 things that when you have a buy like that with those pistols, and it's a lot, or any round really, that you just have a force buy with these pistols, there's, I mean, outside of some amazing shots with those deagles like we saw Kusta do, the ways you win it, you either got to trade kills early on, or you have to be able to swarm defenders in one of the bomb sites, or if they're pushed up with any kind of map control. And enemy actually spreads out across the map in that round. So when Rush gets the first kill, there's no one there to trade it. There's no one there to force rotations. There's no one there to, you know, get that kill and open up some position on the other map where your team can take. So enemy just gets too spread out, and then at the end when they try and reconvene and group up and hit a bomb site, it's just too late to do so. But Nice match. I mean, we got to say, nice match from Conquest. Stanislaw did a really good job at B. We saw him a couple times, despite some pressure on that A bomb site. He reads the situation well, stays over towards B, and really bails him out. That B bomb site was closed for enemy most of that second half, in large part due to Stan. And then Shazam had another good game with the AWP. So nicely done from Conquest in a match they had to win because they're not doing too great in the standings.
Yep, they're currently sitting way down at the moment here in 5th position, trying to compete with some of the others, but with obviously a lot more matches played than some of their opponents. That does hurt their ratings a little bit as we get ourselves later into the season. But that does close out this match for now. We're going to head into our... Go ahead.
I was actually wrong. I didn't realize they were in 5th spot. They are on a 5-game winning streak right now. That was their 5th win in a row. So they were sitting at 1-5, and those 5 wins actually have propelled them up over the past couple weeks. So they're actually on an upswing right now and making a bid for it here in the middle stages of this season. They've got themselves right back into it.
So we'll see, of course, later on in the season how they do perform. But our next match here on the stream, guys, is going to be Team Coast versus Winter Fox, and that should be coming up here in just about 5 minutes, so stick around for that. We'll be right back with more of the ESL ESEA Pro League in just a few minutes.